Hitting a wall while learning Street Fighter 6 is very common, and one of the best ways to get over that wall is to have another pair of eyes look at it and help you out. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you out. We have been doing VOD reviews on twitch.tv/BigNastyKail and here on YouTube Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. In this video, we're going to take one of those VOD reviews and go over it. And if you want to submit your VOD to be reviewed on the channel or on stream, you could find the link in the description below. Don't be shy. Fill it out. Today, we're going to be looking at, and I hope I'm saying your name right, Pekakulia1212, who is a Gold 3 rated Juri player. And they write about themselves, I've been playing since Street Fighter 4, but Street Fighter 6 is the only game I'm taking more seriously. I started playing a few months ago, so I don't know how the frame meter works. Although in Gold 3, it doesn't matter, I think. For now, I just want to get to Diamond and feel more comfortable with this game. Before we go on, I wanted to debunk this idea that certain skills or ideas aren't important until a certain rank. This is how I break down everything when it comes to competitive games, and mostly Street Fighter 6. I learned this from an Overwatch player, Pro Like Crow, and I love the way they break down competition and their ideas of gameplay. I am analytical in the way that I am because of Pro Like Crow, and I'll always be grateful for that. They go by APLI: action, positioning, logistics, and information. Let's go over this real quickly. Action is going to be your execution. Position is going to be where you are on the screen. Logistics are going to be a little bit harder to define. The way that I define it is going to be your resources and how you use the tools that you have. Everything is a resource. How you use frames is a resource. And information is going to be your knowledge. That's going to be stuff like frame data, your matchup, your tech. At the lower ranks, I always say the most important thing to work on is going to be your action or your execution. The less you have to think about your execution and action, the more you can think about your positioning, your logistics, and your information. But it goes from the bottom up. Information fuels the logistics, which fuels positioning, which fuels your execution and action. So even if you're in a medal rank like Gold 3, if you want to get better, look at one of these things and then focus in on that. Usually I say execution, but getting more information and understanding how things work will give you more chances to execute and do more damage. If you have problems, get more information. Sometimes the win or a loss is based upon who's got the most information. That's been my rant. Hopefully it inspires you to look at the frame meter once or twice. My biggest problem is the drive meter. Besides, cross-ups bother me a lot. I don't think I'm good at overhead attacks. I always try to play neutral well and play it safe to try things out against the other opponent to see how it goes. So the first match was against Aki, and they say I tried to play it safe even though she was throwing bubbles all the time. I wanted to get close, but she controlled space well. I didn't have much drive meter left, so I didn't want to risk it. And the second match was against Juri. They said this was the match where they had the problem with the cross-up, but they feel that the other Juri was more aggressive. In general, I think I messed up a lot and I played a little bad. It's okay. Bad games happen. But bad games allow us to take a look at ourselves and get better. So against Aki, there's one thing that I try to do. It's try to stay around max range of where her chain is, but also maybe a little bit in there so that if she tries to use bubble into drive rush, it won't be plus. All right, 99 seconds. What's the plan? She goes in. Okay. Okay, nice. All right, you back off, dodge the chain, you jump in, and she goes to anti-air, which you didn't hit a button. That's great. If you press a button while you're in the air, you recover slower, slightly. So everything is information. You try to jump in and they tried to stop you with a correct answer. They were a little bit slow to it, but it was correct. That means they're trying to look for the air. So maybe we go to the ground. What's your punish? That's the question. It's okay. We could do better. Absolutely. We definitely could do better, but I like it. So when we talk about information and logistics, your resources and such, you don't have a stock, so the combo you want to use would not work. I think you're +9 here? +20. Replay takeover, right? Let's see if a heavy punch will work. Absolutely. So you have a few options. You could do strong into heavy punch or just go straight to a heavy punch. You can use the same combo that you wanted to use, but instead, since you don't have a store, you have to use a light attack. When you don't have a store, your Enkin Satsu is only +5. Since it's only +5, you can only hit a light kick off of it, which then you can go into a DP. You can do OD Fuha as well. That's 2 bars. I don't think it's really worth it. But you also can do strong, fierce, and then go into it for some extra damage. So the biggest damage you could have gotten for 2 bars would have been this combo here. But I probably would have advised just to hold onto your meter and just go for this combo and then work on the Oki. This is one of those times where information is going to save the day. Because the question you should ask yourself is, how negative are they when I block this attack? But most importantly, now we have the replay takeover and you could just try some stuff out, which is nice. Oh, and you can always use OD and Kensatsu to get that combo that you wanted to do, which would have been the most amount of damage that you could do for 2 bars. I was wrong. So from this punish here, we're looking at a third of their health, which is awesome. All right, let's keep going. So we drop the combo. It's fine. Happens. Everything's information. At this range here, you want to be careful because she's going to want to drive rush after it. Let's see what happens. Okay. They didn't go for it. That's fine. But at this range here, she could drive rush and then do heavy kick. All right. You also mentioned you were on dual shock. I don't know if that means you're on analog or not. All right. So I want you to take note of your execution. I'm going to turn off my camera for a second so you can see the inputs. It's super important. And I talk about execution all the time. But I'm looking at all the button presses that you do. And for this one move, you hit light kick a lot of times. But also, on a jab, I also see 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack. And because of that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, of course, we have like... So it looks like you're like tapping like twice for everything. And that's fine for like a double tap on like a stick, hitbox, blah, blah, blah. But you're on a pad, so you're mashing those buttons, which is going to lead to executional inconsistencies. My tip to you is to practice these combos with only 1 button press. Get the timing down. You're not going to have control over your combos. It's all about the rhythm of things. All right. We don't get this combo. Happens. All right. So we're low on resources. So you notice again, they were ready with that and you were able to punish. Now, they can definitely heavy whip your dive kick. So you want to be careful about that. Nice. So we throw, and then what happens is we go up and we only hit heavy punch. Now that's fine to go for the forward heavy punch there, but obviously our positioning wasn't in the right spot. I'm going to have the dummy throw, take control. At this range here, you could move up and like pressure safely. There's nothing that she really can do. You could walk up and take space as well as dash in and do that as well. You could do this as well. But just be careful because like if you're not in range, like you got to be careful that like they might punish it. So whenever you throw, use that as a shield and just try to work on stuff like that. People hate fireball drive rush. So using that as your advantage is super important. So whenever you throw, get in there. Because you don't want to play neutral with Aki because, I mean, she's got more range than you, right? So any chance that you can get in there safely, I think is going to be super important. So like move in, make her guess between a strike or a throw. That's Juri's gameplay, strike or throw. Her pokes are good, but like her whip is better. All right, we're stocked up. Watch for this range here. Here's the drive rush. Nice block. So I took pause for a second. The reason being is that at this level, I don't think a lot of people are going to have the spacing and the timing down to do fireball drive rush with Aki. So because of that, don't be afraid to try to contest. Like that. This range, she's not really in a position to lock you down, especially if she's going to use a slow overhead. This is also one of those times where like knowing a bit of frame data helps because after you block in a drive rush overhead, for the most part, they're almost always plus. I don't think there's any character in the game where they're not plus. In this case, she's +2. So she's 2 frames ahead of you. So if she throws out a light, that means that like your next attack will come out 2 frames after hers. Basically, she has a head start. So because of that, you don't want to throw out anything too heavy. You want to throw out lights. Because in this case, they threw out a 6-frame attack. You threw out a 6-frame attack. But they're 2 frames ahead of you. So there's a counter hit. It would have been the same thing if you threw out a light attack. You would have traded. Unfortunately, even if you trade, they can still... Interestingly enough, if you throw out a light attack... Interestingly enough, if I throw out a light attack, sometimes I beat them out. Why is that? Oh, because they didn't do their attack on time. So they didn't press their attack on the first frame. So because of that, you actually could have won there. So again, if you're going to try to check anything where you know that they're plus, like a drive rush overhead, a light attack is usually the way to go. Gives you the best chance. But if you throw out a 5 frame, you trade. If you throw out a 6 frame, you lose. Cool. Interesting. So nice block on that. They do get the knockdown. Ooh, nice shimmy on their part. Well played. Ooh, they dropped. Let's go. So this is what I mean by not having control over your character. And that's why action is going to be so important for you. Because just to input that one thing, you inputted it 5 times. If you don't know what the term hit confirm means, that means using something that allows you to see that it hit and then go into something bigger. So for an example, this here is unsafe. So you're unable to hit confirm that. But doing something like this allows you to hit confirm through the drive rush. And we're also plus after this, so we can go again and see if it hit. We're also plus after that. So go for a frame trap. Throwing out haymakers like this, usually not the way to go. There's other options like this here is safe. You use a fireball. You could use a drive rush. But using like unsafe options like that, usually not the way to go. But we played Juri. Use a drive rush. So after this knockdown, one thing to keep in mind too is that every time where things go bad, it's not a failure on your part. It is just one piece of the puzzle. You gave information to them. After the knockdown, you want to throw. But they gave you information. After the knockdown, they want to use a shimmy. So for next time, you have other options. Just take the throw. Okay. You also know that they can't hit their combos, which is good for us. Okay, so you tried the empty jump again, but you notice they are definitely aware. Oh, you actually did an air throw. Why'd you do an air throw? Air throw is not useful in this unless you hit throw too early. That's also a possibility. And this will come in time. But yeah, you definitely get counter hit there. Yeah. Sucks. Understandable though. We got to get the pretty chick away from us, right? So this first round, I don't think you use a drive rush once. And I usually like to tell people to use their drive gauge and use drive rush as often as possible when you first start playing. And the reason is that you'll get a good feel for your limits. Not only is it powerful, but when you burn out, you can go, oh, damn, yeah, I burnt out. I got to watch that. Use drive rush. Don't be afraid to get aggressive on them. All right, round 2. How does it turn out? All right, so this is one of the scariest parts about the Aki matchup. There is a little game that comes here. She throws her fireball, and you see how she moves up? That's what you should be doing with yours. But also, there's a range in which if you're too far away from them, they can't really pressure. But if they're really close up, they also can't pressure. So at about the range that you're at here is kind of where you don't want to be. So as she throws it, it's really good that you like step into it. And of course, you get the parry, which is great, right? But like it's like good that you step into it because it takes away some of that space. Try playing a little bit inside so that you can attack them as they try to aggress on you. But you get the parry, which makes them back up, which is great. Watch your jump-ins because they know you want to jump in and they're trying to watch for it. So again, here, it's kind of where they want to be. Drive rush incoming? No, they don't. Okay, cool. Nice. It's hard to get around the fireball with a dive kick. And watch your dive kicks because... Excuse the hell out of me. What? You got those? What do you do here? So replay takeover time. Strong doesn't work. Well, it does work if you're fast enough. Cool. Forward medium punch probably works then. Yeah, you just were a little bit slow. Heavy does not work. You also could have done like something like that as well. But if I were in your shoes, I would be doing something like this. Maybe not that because it was on a perfect parry, right? So maybe use the unenhanced version. But you had the right idea. You just were a little bit slow on the execution. It's okay though. Nice parry. You go in. You're plus there. Not plus there. Why did we try an overhead? Again, this comes down to what you can do and when. After this attack without a drive rush, you're not plus. It's not your turn. So pressing a button here is not usually advised, especially like an overhead, which is like really slow. You also have to assume that people are going to press buttons. It's just an idea of when they want to press buttons. And you hope that you can force them to press buttons when it's a time where you're plus and they can't press buttons. So after your standing medium punch, that's a good time to try to trap them. So if you had hit standing medium punch, that would have been a better option. Because here, you're safe. So on hit, they're plus. They actually can combo after this, but they don't. They press it again. But since they're plus, you trying to press a button again, especially a medium attack, usually not advised. If you're going to press a button, hit a button that's light to try to sneak a turn out. But usually if they hit you, usually you assume that it's not your turn. So this is that range that I want you to watch out for. Like, always be aware of it. Right? This is like the perfect range where if you try to block it and they drive rush, in fact, I'm going to try to press on her. We want to watch out because if you press a button here, you could be smoked. So again, this spacing here, always watch for it. If you see it, sometimes it's better to just like back up, right? Like you can't back up all the time, but sometimes it's better just to like get away from them. But sometimes you just got to block too. This move, plus. You can't press after it. So they're a super plus here. Be careful. Take note. You jumped in. They didn't do the whip. They did a parry. So the next time you jump in and you don't press a button, get ready for the parry and throw them as you land. So get in there. So maybe it doesn't come down to like frame data yet. But this is good. But understand that after they block this, you're 0. Meaning you both are not advantage or disadvantage. So if you both hit a light attack at the same time, you trade. So she took her turn back. And she is going for it. This is that same spacing. You back up a bit. Good. There's the drive rush. You gotta be careful. That's a lot of frames being traded in on whiffs. There's the knockdown. Okay. Okay, nice. Like it. I want you to start using your drive gauge. Oh, I think you tried to do it. Remember, you can't drive rush cancel if you're pressing down. So after you hit crouching medium kick, make sure to hit forward or let go and then hit the parry button. Because you tried to parry. It was a bit late, but you're holding down. The drive rush won't work there. Watch the drive rush. Ooh. Punish that. I need you to drive rush from time to time. What are we doing? What are we doing? We get the hit. Okay. So take note, you actually get the combo, but the issue is twofold. One, this combo does not work. You try to do overhead. Why did you do overhead? So I talked a bit about your combo choice, but it's not even that like you chose the wrong combo. You actually chose not to do a combo. You hit the crouching medium punch, which is great, but then you do an overhead. Why are we doing overhead? You got the hit, continue with your combo. Get the knockdown, and then pressure them. That's the name of the game. Get the knockdown, get in their face. So I advise, go back to this. In times like this, go into the player control and figure it out. Like, I'm not saying it to be mean, but like, figure out what's your combo and then practice it in the replay, right? Like, actually, like, find something that works for you so that if it happens again, you know what to do and that, like, you're very aware. Is there any way that I could have gotten into level 3 without burning out? Maybe, actually. That's how we could have done it. That goes into the CA. And then from here, you get your drive gauge back that you use, and their drive gauge goes down. Look at the difference in the health. You talked about resources, and like this is a little bit of an advanced thing, of course, right? But these are things to think about. What could I have done better? What combos could I have done? When did I fail? Where was a point of... Wait, did I actually do all that damage, or did I just... There we go. That's the combo. It was about to kill, so I was like, wait a minute. Why did that do so much damage? I screwed up the combo. But yeah, think of times where you didn't do as well as you would have liked, and then learn something better, right? Like, learn this combo. That's a combo option. It is a bit hard to do because of the last part, but work up to it. Get a combo, get good at it, use it often. But these overheads are not it. You don't want to use those often. Ooh, then you try to do a... yeah. So since you're minus, you're forced to take a gamble. Like that's my point, right? It's like you don't want to gamble unless you're willing to pay the price of it if you don't get it. And unfortunately, the price of this was a loss. Before we go to the next one, I just want to take a second and talk less about the matchup, and I want to talk more about you as a player with your character. So one thing that I advocate all the time to get used to how the character works, use the combo trials. Combo trials for everyone who is diamond and below, super important. Whenever I learn a character, I always go back to the trials. So even as I'm trying to get Manon to masters now, I still do her trials. But most importantly, it allows me to have something that gives me feedback. I can practice precision. So in this case, you don't have to mash this out. Like you can, right? You can mash it, but like, let's work on them and get precise with our inputs. So one button press for everything. That's it. Get the timing down. Same thing. Jump in hard kick, crouching hard kick. Get the timing down. If you fail, do it again. Do it again until you don't fail. And when you get it, if it was something that was hard, that like you're not sure about, do it a few times, but get the feedback. Get used to the timing. You want to train your brain to do these things so that you don't have to think about it. You don't have, it doesn't have to like cross your mind. You can start to think about what your opponent is doing, but working on your execution, definitely super important. I had to find my Switch controller that I haven't used in a while, and oh my God, is it dirty. So dusty. You can't do that. You're doing this, right? You're doing this, right? You're mashing that button and hoping for the timing. For you, what I would suggest is to go into the trials and like try your best to just get precise, hit the button once so that you're sure of the timing. That helps out quite a bit. Because even if it's not the combos that you want to use in a game, it still helps you get used to the timing of how the character works. I think that will do like gangbusters for you. So I think going into the training room and just practicing your bread and butters, again, precisely, but also how they work together with like how they want to get up and press buttons. So here, Aki cannot press a jab when they get up. This sequence here is a meaty. So after you knock them down, they can't press a button. So these are things to practice. After a throw in the corner, if you dash up, you can throw them again. Aki cannot press a button when she gets up. You throw them before their light attack will come out. Likewise, since they can't press a button here, they also can't press a light attack if you use a strike. So after a throw, you actually can strike them and put them in a bad case. Throw them again, same deal. These like player loops are like really good to learn because it takes away some of the mental that you would use on what you plan to do. And sometimes it's, I'm just going to run the gameplay, right? And make it work, right? Also, after a store, you could do a light store and press a strong again. I have a video on my channel. I believe it's called Improve Your Execution Now or Improve Your Combos Now. And it's a really good video for combo drills. But it also goes in what you could do after you get the hit and what kind of Oki that you can get after that. I think that would help out a lot. All right, let's look at match 2. You're going up against a gold-rated modern Juri. So again, what's your plan? Against modern players, usually you can't jump in on them. And they usually can react to things a little bit faster because they're just going to use a button press. That doesn't cross your mind, you'll probably recognize that very soon. So what's your plan against Juri? usually when I start, I tend to like move up so they can't store. So I don't know. I saw them backdash, but I'm going to show you. Hopefully. There you go, right? I tried to do that. I tried to take that away from them. Because usually Juries like to back off and store. So you get your store. What's going to happen? So they're jumping a lot. Watch the sky. Okay. This is probably not... oh, it is unsafe. So after a store, sometimes it's a good idea just to like check and like see with a light attack. And see if like they use one. Yeah, there you go, right? So a store at that range usually is unsafe. You also can do like something like this as well. But if they store in your face, usually try to press something that's like somewhat fast. The crouching medium kick is a bit slow. So like stand strong, good. But if you're not sure, a light kick is always good. Okay, the drive rush was good. I like it. But after the drive rush, crouching medium punch or +2, it's still your turn. So like here, you definitely could have pressed here. I'll show you what I mean. This is something I do. I do this a lot. I like this. Catches them trying to hit a button, and it catches them trying to walk backwards. Crouching light kick, crouching light punch twice into a medium store. So I like doing this a lot. It's a frame trap, but also will catch them trying to like stand up. Dip throw. Jump in. I have a question. You're doing this a lot. When you jump in, why are you throwing? Are you trying to throw when you like get on the ground, or are you trying to air throw? You can't air throw if they're grounded. They have to be in the air. Respectfully, with love, I need you to stop like immediately. I need this to be like the last day you do it, because this ain't it. Like, you're getting beat out so much. Oddly enough, they do the combo that I'm advocating for you to learn. That one there. But yeah, stop that air throw stuff. So they're on modern. So keep in mind, when modern players do these kind of combos, usually this means that it is like unsafe, and they didn't confirm this. Like, they just did it. If you look at their inputs, they're mashing 1 or 2 buttons, right? And they're getting the combo. So it's just like, no, it's like they're not going to confirm. So if you block a bit more, you could have punished that on block. You walked into it. That happens. Okay, big combo. Where's my combo? I was promised a big combo. Why forward medium punch? Yeah, there's a video on my channel. I'm going to have the link in the description. This one here, I highly advise. I need you to work on this. I need you to do this, because your combo routes are just like, they're ill-informed. Let's say that. It goes over like popular combos and then what to do afterwards. And I definitely think this is like information that would help you out a lot. Looking at this video here will take you to diamond 100%. If you practice the things in this video, you will reach your goal. And probably fast, because you got a clean hit here. And most of the time I see you get a clean hit, you're just not capitalizing. Whereas if you look at your opponents, they're not getting full damage. They're not doing big enough combos, but like they're getting enough, right? They're getting enough so that it's like worth. So like after this, you have time to see if it hit, then go for a big combo. And that's like what I was saying. Like after the knockdown, you can go straight into a dash, walk, throw, which if you look, they're pressing buttons. Like, it stuffs them trying to do anything. So you got to get your combos up, homie. That sucks. Why are we air throwing? Yeah, all right. Respectfully, you're starting to piss me off. I don't know why that's getting me so mad. Why are we air throwing? Well, why? Again, this is the last day you do this. Stop doing this. If there's times where you're unsure, you want to throw out a medium, just do regular medium punch. It's plus. Oh, that's punishable. Be careful. Watch your dive kicks. They're all unsafe. They're all unsafe. right, so they're burnt out. They're burnt out. You're burnt out. This is more of a strategic point of view. You're going to exit burnout before them. So if you could just like weather the storm, you'll be at a big advantage. Let's see what happens. Okay, nice, huge. Go in. When they're burnt out, they have to block for longer, and that's good. Go in, go in, go in. Knockdowns are like slaying the monster in a dungeon. And like the wake up timing is your prize. And you could open the prize and like open the chest and like see a prize inside, right? You're like, I don't need the loot. I don't need the gold. I'm just here for the glory. No, go in. Don't let them breathe. When you're on top of them, they get scared. When they get scared, they make mistakes. When they make mistakes, you take more damage on punishment. When they screw up, you take as much as you possibly can. And if you don't know how to take as much as you can, you learn how to take as much as you can through better combos, more information, blah, blah, blah. And like, it's good because like, but if you don't go in, there's no chance for failure either. So like, what if you go in and they do something and you're like, oh, I don't know how to deal with it. You could learn how to deal with it. But when you back up, you can't do anything. Like, you can't learn anything. You're low on health, but look at your drive gauge. It's about to come back. You're about to be at a severe advantage. If you were up close to them, you would have gotten your drive gauge back by now. But yeah, if you go in, you can be on top of them. Pressure is the name of the game. But instead, you back up. Especially after a fireball. Like, after a fireball, you're plus as hell. Like, after that, like, they can't do anything. They're locked down. So yeah, don't be afraid to go in. If you go in and you fail, that's okay. You'll learn how to do it better. But give yourself a chance at bat. You have drive gauge, they don't. You're at an advantage. Now, go in. Get in there. Nice. Okay, cool. So maybe you're jumping in, trying to throw, and you're just doing the throw a little bit early, which goes back to what I was saying. Practice getting better at things like that. So you didn't get the throw. But again, you understand what they want to do when you jump in on them and you go to throw them. Unfortunately, they get a dive kick. They get a clean one on you. There's a cross-up, and there's a combo. That's going to take the round. Cross-ups are rough, but remember, on cross-ups, you can also parry. It's a auto block. You'll get used to it. So one of the reasons why I say pressuring is good is that you get more information back, right? So if you throw a person, dash up, and then you attack them, what do? That's information that you have. But if you throw a person and then you back up, you don't get a chance to get that information. So it's like hard to tell like how to give you advice because we really didn't see much based on that. So I'm going to focus more on like you and your choices. All right, so they go in. There's something called a buffer, and I'm sure you know what it is. What a buffer is that when you press a button, you can say hit the parry button or drive rush. If it whiffs, you don't get the drive rush. If it connects, you do get the drive rush. If there's a time where you think you want to throw out a crouching medium kick, you should always hit the parry button or buffer it to a special attack or something, right? There it is, right? Because you got to turn the tides there, right? Or like do that. But what's good about it though is that if it whiffs, you don't get it. You see how like I do it, but it's only if you connect. So even for drive rush, right? Like if I do the drive rush after, you get it only if it connects. So buffering is good. It's a good way to like turn the tides back. It's also good to catch a person that might walk into things like that, right? Like the dummy actually did like a buffer, right? But stuff like that. The buffers are good. So every time I hit the fierce, I'm going to hit the parry button to drive rush. Like that, see? So even if anytime I'm going to hit the parry button just for the drive rush. Even if I don't think it's going to hit, it's in case it does hit like that, right? I didn't think he would do that, but it hit. Anytime. I do this a lot with medium kick, like that, right? From far away, you won't get the cancel, but from close, you do. Every time. What the hell? See, from far away, I don't get it, but from close, I get it. That's because every time I press the button, I also hit the parry button. But I also can do the same thing with Soar. And I only get it if they're close. Like that. Like, you have all the drive gauge. You might as well, right? And it helps them get into position. You could punish this right after this point. You don't have to wait for the full thing. Nice. I need a better combo. I definitely need a better combo than that. Something like that could have worked. Like that. Like, this combo is good to know. This is a very, very useful combo. It's a good damaging combo off of something that's like -6 frames. Okay, we get the knockdown. We throw the fireball. Go in. So you like doing this a lot. That sequence you like doing a lot. You're rushing. This is because if you're mashing, right? Because like your inputs are not clean, you're like leaving opportunities on the floor. Like, you could have got 2 hits here. This is Juri's like most damaging attack, right? Like, you could have got 2 hits there. That's fine. I'm going into Feng Shui Engine. It's weird. It's weird the fact that you told me that you don't think frame data is important at your level, but you're going to throw out Feng Shui Engine? Okay. I'll take it. It wasn't the best. But also, that execution, homie. Okay. Nice attempt. Nice attempt. I like that you're going for it. I think you might have your priorities wrong. I think you need to work on the frame data before you do this. But hey, I always say, Feng Shui Engine's fun. Have your fun. I am not here to tell you how to enjoy your cake. But I respect it. I respect the hell out of it. Okay, nice throw. Get in there. I like it. I like it. You went in. I like it. If you were a bit more comfortable with Feng Shui Engine, you could have blown this up. But something happened. I don't know if you knew it, right? I don't know if you saw it. Like, these are things you'll get better at seeing over time. Did you catch it? Did you catch like that like 1 frame of something? I'll show you. Information, right? You should have saw that. 1 frame, but you could have caught that 1 frame. This is information. Because what happens right after that? Does it again, right? Some people cannot be trained. Some people are animals, right? He does it again. What you could have done to blow this up is after a string. Something like that. In fact, you could have won this match. All right, something like that, right? I didn't see that you were burnt out. Like, if you weren't burnt out, you could have won this match. As long as you don't cancel to something, right? But you definitely could have blown him up for that. Taking note of that, like, that DI would have been huge for you. I'm sorry. There's something crazy on my glasses. My bad. Something a little bit wild on my glasses. I had to clean them off. Let's go back. Obviously, I didn't see what I needed to see. Obviously, I saw some things that were wrong there. That's crazy. Usually, if you trade with a medium kick, it's usually your turn heavily. What are we doing? What are we doing? That's what you get for using that whack-ass move. Everybody, back hard kick sucks. Stop using it. So technically, you guys both use 10-frame attacks, right? These are both 10-frame attacks. This is cool, though, right? These are both 10-frame attacks, but theirs is going to give you better frame advantage. So that's why they beat you there. So you trade a bit. and they get the jump, they get ahead of you. Sometimes you have to slow down and let your opponent make a mistake. Chill. They gotta come out to you. So whenever you're in the corner, if you can't aggress, I'm not saying to back all the way up, but like around where you are here, it's a good spot. They jump out, you could stop them. If they try to dash out like they did, you could check them, right? Like they can't walk backwards. They have to only move in one direction. So like here, I would have like tried to watch for it and then jab them here. Punish. Nice. Good. Nice. I'm glad you recognized that that was a punish. All right. So they're coming in hot. So whenever you start a match, one of the first things that you should keep in mind is like drive rush, right? In case they want to start off hot. So if they do, you can always check it. Play slow for a bit unless you have a read or something, and like try to get information. But one of the things I like to look at is I like to just watch in case they try to do this. That's one of the first things I check. Okay. So whenever there's a scramble, they're drive impacting. This is like the second time that they've done that. Third time actually. All right, get yourself out the corner. I need some combos. At some point, I need some combos. So again, boom, drive rush. Drive rush. Like at some point, drive rush. At some point, I need some combos. Thank you for backing off and not trading 5 times. Appreciate that. Punish this, please. Okay. That's what I want. That's not what I want. Learn this combo. I promise this will be good for you. Learn this combo. Right, you can do that. Or this, if you have a store. If you have a stock, burn the stock. Right? Or do this combo so that you get your stock back. If you don't have a stock or you want to hold on to the stock, you can do that. Or if you want to hold on to a stock and then build a stock, you can do this. And then get in and pressure. Definitely think it's a good idea to practice this combo. Definitely worthwhile. Because you could also do something like this. Right? Or you could do a better option, in my point of view, would be this one here. And then pressure. But learning this opening here, definitely important. Because again, you're given opportunities. You're just not taking advantage of them. You also can do this as well. But this is a little bit easier to do. So it's more meter. Or are we trying to do 10 Senrin? We were trying to do 10 Senrin. And I think the biggest thing that I can tell you is to work on your execution. You're trying to work on 10 Senrin cleanly. Like, if you failed at that, get into the lab, practice it, or turn on the replay viewer and do as I'm doing. Do anything that gives you like feedback, you know, that you can see it work. But yeah, this is definitely the better choice. Okay, let's see what happens. They clipped you. All right, you're in the corner. Punish that. They're on modern. So the way they do this combo is by spamming a button. You notice that they're not confirming it, right? They're just doing it and hoping for the best. So you see this happen often, right? Whenever they go on the offense, you see them do this. So you should have, like, once you see like it start, once you see this attack here, you should know that at some point they're probably going to do this. And then you should have your punish ready. You could also have burnt them by using a super. Also an option. Okay. Nice. Get in there. Where's my combos? I need some combos. At the very least, the basic. At least that, right? This is like so important. Or this. To go into the super if you want to do that. This is like the best way to go into super. This target combo. Most definitely. That sucks. Because 2 crouching strongs is not a natural combo. There's another video I would look at. And it's going to be the video that I did about frame data. I know you don't want to learn it. But I think understanding how certain things work will help you out. And I'm not saying that these things will help you get to a higher rank immediately, but these are things that I think are like important to understand, so that as you go into games, you have a foundation that you can go back to, that you can refer to. So for an example, if you're in a game and Aki tries to sweep you, for an example, if you don't have the frame data available and you don't want to look at it, what happens when you do this and you try to punish and you use the wrong button and they block it? And that's a reason that you lose, right? Versus like this. It's like understanding that this is -8 is important. And you could know this by going into the frame meter, you turn it on. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown. Every move has 3 steps: startup, active, and recovery. The startup of a move is how long a move has to go before it can actually hit. So here, this move has to go 17 frames before it hits the opponent. So if I tried to hit him on frame 10, it won't hit until this frame here. This bar is my opponent's stun. So you notice the first frame of the active frames, that's when the stun starts, not before that, because startup can't actually hit the opponent. Recovery is how long do I have to take to actually do my next move. And if we look here, my opponent is in stun for 2 frames after I recover. So I recover 2 frames quicker, which means on hit, I'm +2. Because I recover 2 frames before he recovers. If you ever want to know about things, what you can do is, let's say you want to learn about what moves are on block. You can turn block all on, turn the frame meter on, and then just press a button and see what it is. So light punch is my -2. Medium punch is +2, right? The blue is plus, the red is minus. So me being +2 means that I get to act 2 frames before them. Aki's crouching light punch is 4 frames. So if I use medium punch and they use a crouching light punch, I'm 2 frames ahead after they block this. So if I use a 4-frame attack, I'll hit them before they start. And then you see it here. I start up, active, and recovery on my medium punch, and then the startup of my light punch comes out, and it hits on frame 2 of their light punch. They can't press a button before I can press a button because I'm earlier than them. That's how we get all these numbers, right? I recover, and it's a matter of who gets to recover first. That tells you how plus or minus it is. So if you're not sure how to punish something, you could find out how plus or minus it is. If you look, I blocked that, I recovered, and they have to wait 20 frames before they can act again. So that makes it +20 for me. So if I block their whip, I recover earlier than they do, 20 frames earlier. This means as long as I do something 20 frames or less, it will hit them. But then you go, well, how do I know what to use? Well, if you go here, you press a button, it tells you the total amount of frames, but most importantly, it shows you startup, right? This move starts up in 4 frames. So after I block this, that works fine. This move is 6 frames. That works fine. This move is 10 frames. That works fine. Her overhead is 21 frames. That will not work. So this is how you find information quicker. So if you're playing a person and you block one of their big attacks and you don't know what to do, you could take them into the training room. You could turn on block all and then go over to reversal settings and hit block reversal. Go to this tab here, find that move, and then turn on the slot. So when you attack them and they block, immediately they'll do that move. And then you look, you have the information here. And you know, oh, I know that I can hit this attack here. I also know I can hit this attack here. And I know this because start up 10 frames and I have 20 frames to work with. So I know this combo will work fine. So that's what Professor Kail is giving you for homework. I'm not suggesting. I'm demanding you get your combos right. And again, check the description. I'm not asking. If you yourself want to learn more about Juri, I'll have some guides in the description below. These guides will help you on your journey all the way up to Master Rank, I promise. If you have any questions, you could always hit me up on Discord, and the Discord link will be in the description. And I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday on twitch.tv/BigNastyKail or here on YouTube. And thank you for all of the submissions. I'm going to try to go through them day by day. And I hope you all watching this helps you answer some questions that you might have. And if you want to submit your replay for review, I have that post in the description as well. Thank you for watching this video. Your support means the world to me. And as the world is in flux at the current time, as I always ask you after every video, to tell your loved ones that you love them and support each other. And thank you for supporting me. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.